Most agents think that the only difference between them and a top producer is a 40-hour work week. Well, they couldn't be more wrong. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video where today I'm going to be breaking down the exact mindset shift that you need to have in order to be a successful full-time realtor. I don't have all the answers, but I do know what it takes to win in this business because I became one of the top producing agents in my local market in less than a year. So I'm just sharing my story and experiences with you here to, hopefully help you take things to the next level. If you handed most part-time agents 40 open, uninterrupted hours for an entire week's worth of work starting tomorrow, the cold hard truth of it is that the majority of people would not use it correctly. They'd spend it reorganizing their desk or tweaking their logo or waiting on the phone to ring from a lead that signed up on their website probably 2 weeks ago. But let me tell you from my own personal experience, going full time in this industry is not just a logistical change of where you show up day to day. It's a full-on identity crisis. And if you don't fix the employee mindset that most agents have going into this business, then quitting your job and diving into this thing full tilt is not a career change. You're just voluntarily unemployed. Now look, we're about to break down the exact mental architecture that you need to have in order to be successful in this business and go from a part-time agent to a total dominant agent. Number one, discipline over mood. The very first paradigm shift that you have to make when you get into this business is that you have to understand that you choose discipline over motivation every single day. When I talk to most part-time agents, they treat this thing like a hobby. If they wake up and they feel like it, then they're going to, maybe send out an email, send out a text, they might try to follow up with somebody, something like that. But if they wake up and, maybe they're like bummed because they had a dead deal or something fell through, or maybe they're not getting a response, well, then you're going to write the day off. And you know what? They'll just be like, well, maybe I'll just get back to it tomorrow. But I want you to listen to me when I say that momentum is not built on good vibes. It's built on doing the hard work even when you absolutely hate it. Top producers, they don't have a magical endless tank of motivation. Instead, what they have is discipline where they get up and they do the same things day in and day out, no matter how they feel, whether it's Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, whatever the case is, they're sticking with their game plan and they're executing on it at the highest possible level every single day. Number two, I call this the calendar fortress. So think about it this way. When you work a W-2 job, you go in Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, 9 to 5, whatever it is, and you have a boss that is telling you, hey, I want you to be here at this time, I want you to sit at this desk, and I want you to do blah, blah, blah. And you wake up and you do it because if you don't do it, then you're going to get fired. So whether you realize it or not, when you're in that sort of mode, you have all these boundaries in place that are keeping you on track. Now, for whatever reason, the second that most agents get their real estate license, they throw all those boundaries out the window because they want flexibility. Since we're in real estate, I'm going to use this as an analogy and say that when you are operating without boundaries, it's like you're building a house without walls. The rain, the wind, literally every distraction that could possibly come up is going to come up, and it's going to distract you from the main thing that you need to be focusing on. So this is where that calendar fortress comes in. We're going to create boundaries for ourselves, and we're going to have to stick to them. So if your calendar says you are outbound prospecting from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, then by God, on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., you better be sitting down and prospecting. That time should be an unyielding brick wall. You don't answer texts, you don't answer calls, you don't browse on social media. No, you protect that time with your life because production is what's going to buy you freedom. Number three, fire and rehire yourself. So here's something that I want you to do. I want you to take a look back at the last 7 days. And when you're looking over them, think about all of the revenue producing activities that you actually did. Take out all the fluff, all the side stuff that you did, driving around or scrolling on social media or planning out what you're going to do next week. I'm talking strictly about those revenue generating activities that are actually going to be doing something in the future to make you some money. Now, once you've stripped everything away and you're looking at those revenue producing activities, I want you to think about this like you are paying someone to do that. Now, ask yourself, would you hire an employee who is putting in that exact same effort? Would you pay them money to do what you did? And even better than that, if you already had an employee and they were performing in that manner, would you fire them? So I'm just going to be real for a second. Most part-time agents would fire themselves by noon. And to make that leap full time, you have to step into the shoes of the boss. You have to treat yourself like an employee to the mission of the company. And when you change the expectation of your own daily output, then the results are just going to change automatically. Number 4, prepare for loneliness. Now, transitioning from a part-time side hustle type role and transitioning into a full-time business owner model, that's going to be incredibly taxing, and it can be kind of lonely, especially if you try to do it by yourself. Feel like you're in a vacuum, you'll kind of get caught up in your own thoughts, you won't have anybody to bounce ideas off of, and eventually you very well could run your business into the ground because you start making some decisions that you don't have outside perspective on. And if you get into a situation like that, you don't really need more motivational speeches or someone just giving you a pep talk. You need a true structured support system and people that are going to back you. And in that same breath of walking through things and helping you, they're also going to demand excellence. Somebody that I really like to listen to is Alex Hormozy, and he talks about this loneliness like all the time. He says like how you'll be shocked at how people change as you become successful. The people that supported you in the beginning when you had nothing, and then all of a sudden you start to grow, well, they're going to shift and they're going to start looking at you differently, especially when you start to succeed and outperform them. You will mentally outgrow people that you thought you were close with and you were going to be close with forever. And you're also going to get to a point where you've outgrown the people of your past, but you won't be at a point in life where you're accepted by the people that you want to be around. I'm not saying any of this to discourage you, but I am saying it because you need to be prepared for it. And really, the best way to be prepared for it is to have a support system and people in your corner that are going to last and that you're looking up to and that are already connecting with you before you actually take that deep dive and you commit to this thing full tilt. Now, if you don't have that support system already and you do want to have a quick conversation, you can hit that link. We'll have a quick 20-minute call. We'll talk about your business, where it's at, and just how partnering with us can help give you the blueprint that you need in order to follow those steps, and then also what the support system looks like here and how we will support you through all those steps. Drop me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. Hope you got some value out of it, and best of luck out there.